Yay, Miss Cintron, it's Unit 2. We're going to do logic.
I'm so excited. I can see you are as well.
I actually am excited. I know it's weird, but I kind of like it.
That's great. Me too.
Okay.
A conjecture is a statement that might be true, but it is unproven. So that's what we're talking about today. Statements. This is going to look a little bit more like English class and a little less like math class.
Well, some people might really appreciate that.
Yeah, some people might not.
Right.
Either way, it's happening. A counterexample is an example that contradicts the conjecture, proves it's untrue, and we'll show you what that means. And a negation is a contradiction of the statement. So here's our conjecture. It's a statement. If the name of the month starts with the letter J, it is a summer month. So that's somebody's making that statement. We can make a statement about anything. Doesn't mean it's true, but we can make a statement.
Kind of like the internet.
Yeah, exactly like the internet. Right?
Okay.
So they said, if it starts with the letter J, it's a summer month. Is there a counterexample out there? Is there an example that would prove that to be not true? Oh, I'll pick you, Miss Burnett. What is it?
What about January starts with a J, and it's not a summer month, so how would I write that?
January starts with J, and it is not a summer month. Is January in the summer? No. So that proves that my statement is not true because January starts with J and it is not in the
Can I
summer.
write that on there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this statement, the counterexample, proved that this is not true. So now I can say this is not true. Right?
Right.
Okay. Because of this.
All right, negation. A negation contradicts a statement. So this is how we do negation. Negation means it's not going to happen or it won't or something that's negative. We try very hard not to be negative, but in this case, they want us to. So we take our statement, and to negate our statement, we say if the name of the month, board's bouncing.
It's excited that we're doing logic.
Yeah, right. Does not start with J, so that's our negation. Not. Then it is not, there's another not, a summer month.
Can I try and do the second one really fast?
That would be great, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to try and do this based on what Miss Cintron just told me. So I'm looking at my conjecture, which is my sentence. All four-sided figures are rectangles. Okay? I happen to know that this is not true, and I will prove it by saying that let's see. Let's go with, you want to go with parallelogram, Miss Cintron? Is that your idea?
It was not my idea. I had a great idea this morning. First period sent me out. They spoke to me this morning, by the way. It never happened. One person. Adam's sister. Actually, shout out to Adam, your sister. Trapezoid.
Ah! That's a good one, too.
Yes. Adam's sister is one of the only ones that talks to me.
Let's see. I can spell. Trapezoid.
I thought you were trying to draw a trapezoid.
Is it trap-a or trap-o?
E.
Trapezoid is a four-sided figure.
But it is not a rectangle, is it, guys?
But it is not. Why is your handwriting so nice and mine's so yucky?
Mine looks exactly like yours, Miss Burnett. It literally looks the same. This looks like a lot of writing, Miss Burnett.
It is. This is just like English class. Ooh, pick me. I'm going to do the negation.
Would you like to do the negation?
Can I please?
Please do.
So, would I say all four-sided rectangles, or four-sided figures, pardon me, four-sided figures are not,
The word not is in there.
rectangles. That makes it negative, correct?
Right. We're trying to be negative when we are negating.
All right.
Somebody would like to negate your little brother, but I don't know if that's possible.
And how my daughter feels that way.
We have one more. The sum of two integers is always positive. Well, integers are positives, negatives, any number. Can we think of an example that would make that not true?
What about if I added two negative numbers to such one?
Oh, such as?
Let's say -7 and -1.
What is -7 plus -1, Miss Burnett?
-8.
Oh, and that is not positive.
Right.
Uh-oh. So, how would I write that? The sum is not positive. So there's our counter example. It doesn't work. If it doesn't work one time, then it's not going to be true. Okay? Negation. The sum of two integers is not always positive.
So basically, Ms. Cintron, we're just looking at information and we're determining if it's true or not. And it is based on what we're writing down, right?
Yes.
Not what we think in our heads,
No.
but what we see on the paper and we see written down.
Correct.
Okay.
We're
Did I
ready.
go too far?
Yes, you did.
There we
Those
go.
are
Okay.
changed.
So now we're going to look at this from a geometric point of view. A conditional statement, it's really just the statement that we gave before, and I'm going to steal these things, is an if-then logic statement. And you should know this from biology class. Remember you made hypotheses. If something, then this will happen. That's exactly what we're doing. It's just the hypotheses statement, but in math form. So a conditional statement has two parts. The hypothesis part, the if part. I can't spell and write at the same time.
It's a lot.
And the conclusion part.
Which I
Can't
think they
spell
have
either.
heard of that before. Hypothesis,
Yes.
conclusion, sounds very sciencey.
Yeah, it's from biology. Okay? So for example 1, we're going to underline the hypothesis and circle the conclusion. I'm going to change my color. So my hypothesis is the one that starts with if. It doesn't matter where it ends in the sentence. It's the one that starts with if. So if it is July, my conclusion is the one that starts with then. Then there is no school. If I train really hard, that's my hypothesis, then I will make it to the NFL. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Don't sit here and argue that July you could be in summer school. No, that's not the point. You're just reading what's up here, and you're just reading the statement. And this is the truth. Okay. So let's try it. If it is noon in Virginia, then it's 9 a.m. in California. What am I going to write here? I'm going to write if it is noon. Because the P is always the hypothesis statement.
So that's just a symbol for hypothesis. P for hypothesis.
Right. So this is what your statement looks like. And we'll go over the notation more and more. My conclusion is always the Q. Then it is 9 a.m. in California. And, all right, I'm over because we're going to disturb. So what I mean by that is I don't want to write this sentence over and over and over and over again. So instead of doing that, I've just said, I'm just using substitution, but with a whole word, not with just a number. If P, then Q. And if I go back and I resubstitute my P, if it is noon in Virginia, that's what that means, then it is 9 a.m. in California. So I don't have to write the sentence anymore. All right? Are we
You want
having...
to stop and do Ed puzzle here.
All right, so we're going to do Ed puzzle for these two right here?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to do an Ed puzzle for example 2 and the you try number 2. Okay? All right. Keep going.
Now down at the bottom, we have making conditional statements. This is a statement. 2 points are collinear if they lie on the same line. So we're going to make an if-then statement out of those. If 2 points lie on the same line, then they are collinear. Oh, that needs to be then.
Hey, Miss Cintron, while you're writing,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this question. Why didn't you start with if 2 points are collinear?
Because this has the if.
Oh, so it doesn't, order doesn't matter. It depends on where the if is. Okay.
So if 2 points on the same line, then they're collinear.
All right.
Next.
Okay, so you guys try this one on Edpuzzle. Okay, next. All fish swim. Oh, that's a really hard one. Oh, okay. I had to look at your answer. If it is a fish, then it swims.
That one's there because there's some like that on the quiz test.
Really? Did not know
There's
that.
one
That's
like
a
that.
question that might be on the test. Different words, kind of like that.
Well, yeah. Okay,
Right.
so we're gonna try there. We're gonna try the next two,
Right?
and we're gonna turn the page.
So now we're going to flip it, a converse statement. If Q, then P. So you're flipping the hypothesis and the conclusion.
All right, so P, they're telling you the P part, the hypothesis is it is my geometry book. Q, the conclusion is it is blue, but we want to put the conclusion first. So, if the book is blue, then it is my geometry book.
So all we did was flip that. Wow, okay.
Q before P.
So can you guys try this for Edpuzzle on the next one? On this one, if you get 100 on the test. Okay. And I'm going to do this example. If if two angles are congruent, then they are vertical, but I'm supposed to flip it. This is my P statement because it's my if statement, and this is my Q statement because it's my conclusion, but I'm going to flip it. So if the two angles are vertical, then they are congruent. Okay? And so now you're going to do this next one. And I hope you notice on that one when you're doing it in Edpuzzle, sorry, is it true or false? Right? Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's false.
Okay, moving down to inverse statements, you're in the same order, P then Q, but we're going to negate both of those. So here's our P, if it is raining. Here's our Q. Then practice is canceled. So we're going to say if it is not raining, then practice is not canceled. It's a lot of writing.
It is a lot of writing, Miss Sunshine. That's why we have the P and the Q, though.
Right.
So now you're going to try this one on Edpuzzle. Okay? And I'm going to do this one over here. You are not in school during the summer unless you're sleeping through all of this and you're not doing any work. Okay? So here's P. You are not in, oh wait. You are not, if you are not in school, then, how would I do that one? Hold on. I got to write this as a statement first. If you are not in school, then it is summer. Okay, sorry, had to do that in my head. So P and Q, but I have to turn it into an if, then. So this would be if you are not in school, then it is not summer. And you guys are going to do the next one on Edpuzzle.
Okay.
We might not make it. We only have 15 seconds.
Contrapositive is to flip them and negate them. So here's our P. Here's our Q.